In this video, we are going to focus on the evidence status. We have seen previously that by default, once we create a new evidence, it is presented with a gray icon that highlights that is still waiting to be analyzed. As we learned from previous video, we can verify if all the needed activities on the evidence are fine just by using the checklist. As we have seen, it is a list where we can customize the task to perform to each evidence case. Therefore, if everything has been done correctly and completely, you can change the status of the evidence with the most proper one in order to, let's say, forget about the evidence and keep on working with the other cases evidence. On the other hand, on the checklist, we can also have and see some alerts informing us if something is still missing, like in this case that we are seeing that for the last evidence that we have had, we are still waiting to perform any kind of analysis on it. So we can also verify the alerts about it on the checklist. The changing of the status consent to have a first glance of the level of analysis of each evidence. Of course, we all agree that the work of the forensics expert is not always as smooth as we should expect. We may have blocked evidence, we are waiting for the information in order to access to the evidence, maybe the equipment is working on other things. So this status is really going to be a lifesaver for our work. As we can see here in this investigated person, we can understand that this evidence is still a to-do. For this other evidence, for the other investigated person, we can see that is acquired. So in a sort, we just need to verify the content of the evidence in order to search for the specific request that the client has performed, and then apply those information, those results inside the analysis area. For this other evidence, instead, we have applied the status as not acquirable, so it means that it was not possible to perform any kind of extraction. So in a way, we have nothing to analyze further, so we can consider that closed. While for this other evidence, which is a smartphone, is already considered analyzed, so we can completely forget about this one. While for this other computer is acquired, and still for this one we need to check the drug content and the request that the client has performed. So the changing of the status is going to be really a lifesaver in order to keep on working and proceeding with the analysis, of course in conjunction with the checklist, because of course from the checklist we can verify all the tasks and see all the alerts and then change the status. We have seen that the changes of the status is from the top of the evidence area, so we can switch from a to-do, which is the default one, the alert if we may have to notify that there is an alert, like anything that can be considered an alert. So just to take into consideration that for that specific evidence we should go back and check on it. Once the evidence is not acquirable, this is also good in order to remember that some of the evidence were not acquirable. So maybe if there are some updates on the instrumentation that we use or something like this, we can go back to those not acquirable evidence and maybe check if right now it could be possible to proceed with another type of analysis. When it's acquired, so everything is good, we just need to verify if on the content of the exported data there's something of interest for the client, and analyze. So analyze, we can completely forget about this evidence. So this is going to be super useful. And of course, as we saw during the previous video, Of course, the program is completely customizable, and we have already seen this area in which we can customize the evidence status, the alerts that we are going to add for each status, and of course we can modify and customize according to our need. As mentioned, this goes together with the checklist, so alerts on the status available on the checklist in order to then proceed with the analysis. Those information are also going to be presented once we try to generate the report. In fact, for now, you see we still have one alert because we are still waiting to perform the analysis on one of the evidence. So here we have the alert. So it's all connected in order to have the well-formed final report to be completed.